Hey, what's happening, Baltimore Ravens fans? Welcome back to the Bald Perspective. Do me a favor on the way in the door. Go ahead and tap that like button. Hit subscribe if you never subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you get updates when we upload new content. Let's talk. So we probably all have been wondering, what are the Baltimore Ravens up to? Why have they been so silent? Why are they not making any moves? Why are they not doing anything offensively of any notable measure? Why are they bringing us third tier and fourth tier type offensive linemen? Why did they bring back John Simpson? Why did they bring in Pinter? We may be all wondering that. We also probably wondering, why are we relying upon Emory Jones, who has not proven anything thus far in his career because of injury? Why are we relying on an undrafted guy like a Corey Bullock, who has not proven anything? Why don't they care about Lamar Jackson? And I think at this point, there's only 2 or 3 real reasons. Number one, which is the most unlikely, let me be clear. Number one is the most unlikely. And that is that EDC is cooking up a trade behind the scenes. The last time the Baltimore Ravens was this kind of quiet between the NFL Combine, when EDC talked about offering a deal to Tyler Lindenbaum, and then the next thing we heard from the Baltimore Ravens was a Max Crosby trade. So we've been pretty silent, even so much that we're having to recycle news in the content creation world in order to have something to talk about. So maybe, unlikely, but maybe. The number 2 thing that could be happening is that the Baltimore Ravens are settling in to focusing on the draft, and a little bit of buzz, rumor, report that Ledford, the Baltimore Ravens offensive line coach, was seen at the Penn State Pro Day watching Vanga. And it's proven, you saw the videos, the clips, things of that nature. So it's a proven fact. So maybe that's what they're up to. Maybe they're just focused on who they're going to be drafting at 14. But here's what I think. Here's the bald perspective. The bald perspective is that the Baltimore Ravens have been held prisoner once again by the compensatory picks. That's what I believe is happening. You see, every single year, the Baltimore Ravens of the EDC era has taken this kind of approach. And so, not to go all the way back to 2019, but just to come to 23, 24, and 25, right? The Baltimore Ravens make one big-ish free agent signing, and then they go quiet. And they make some low-end signings. They make some signings of players who have been released by their team, which don't count against what? The compensatory pick. Or they wait later, probably in what you call the post-draft free agency, and then they make some additional signings. You see, in that 2023 season where the controversy about Lamar Jackson's contract happened, the Baltimore Ravens picked up Odell Beckham. That was supposed to be that big signing for that offseason. In that 2024 season, it was Derrick Henry, and that was it. Sure, some other guys were signed in those seasons, but when you're talking about a notable name, a quote-unquote big name free agent, those were the guys. And then last year, it would have been Ronnie Stanley, which was a re-signing of their own. And then here we are this year, Trey Hendrickson. That's why it looks like the Ravens are done at this point. Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to sign anybody else, but as far as the big names, the game changers, the real needle movers, it was Trey Hendrickson. Now, he's a pretty big signing, and I think he's going to change some things defensively. I think Awuzie and also Hawkins are significant signings, but I think they're more of lateral signings than any type of step upward. So it's Trey Hendrickson, and that's it. Because then when you turn your attention to who's left in free agency, they're just complimentary players at this point. There's nobody significant other than a wide receiver or two who could do some things offensively, maybe a defensive lineman or something like that, but not much. We've gone from the Louis Vuitton Gucci store era, which was tampering, and then into the first week. The second week basically is almost over. We're now in the Walmart shopping phase. Anything after this week is the recycle bin at Goodwill. And for those of you who bang out at Goodwill, no knock to Goodwill. That's just how we've done business. And there's no real way to go back and grab some high-end talent. You just now have to look at those complementary pieces. And so, why? Why have the Baltimore Ravens made the bigger defensive signings, but nothing offensively of significance? Well, I told you why. The Baltimore Ravens are being held captive by the 2027 compensatory pick scale. They basically already canceled out the third round pick that would have come back for Tyler Linderbaum with the Trey Hendrickson signing. And you know that made EDC nervous. You know that makes him sweat. But I think that's what's happening. You see, because when you look at guys who could return potential 2027 compensatories, you're looking at Isaiah Likely. His contract was significant enough. You're looking at Charlie Kolar. His contract was significant enough. He's probably somewhere in that 6th round or 7th round. Jordan Stout may even bring back something compensatory because he was probably the best punter on the market, and his contract was the biggest of punter contracts. Maybe Draymond Jones could bring back something 5th or 6th round, something like that. So you're looking at probably 4 or 5 compensatory picks at this point. And so signing anything significant kind of cast out any opportunity for compensatory picks 2027. And I think they've been put in compensatory pick prison. And it's a shame, because no matter how many picks we've had in this era, we haven't done anything significant with them. Pay attention to the Baltimore Ravens 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks. Who you picking out to keep other than Teddy Buchanan over the last 3 drafts? And if we're counting 2023, let me say that's right, 23, 24, 25, and then 26. Who at this point in those drafts are we just screaming and yelling about, man, that was a steal? Nobody other than Teddy Buchanan. So we don't even have a history in the short term that says we should be salivating over the compensatory picks, and that should hold us captive from making any moves. But the damage is done now. So unless he's cooking up a trade, option 1, we're just where we are, which is where we typically are in a free agency cycle. So listen, you guys let me know, do you guys think that EDC and the Ravens are held in prison once again by the compensatory picks? I'm out.